Scott here with Coldwell Banker and Scott Spots, episode number 543. That was a joke. I haven't done that. Okay. We are here at One Amazing Find at 106 Tarpon Avenue, and it's an awesome boutique store. I don't know. I don't want to describe it for you because I don't know if it's a boutique store. It's a lot of things.
We like boutique.
Is that good?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
It's a lot of things. It's one of my favorite stores to walk into along Tarpon Avenue, and here with Casey, the owner. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to take your storm. You know, I mean, this is your show now. So tell us a little bit about One Amazing Find.
So we are a creative home market. Mm-hmm. We've got products from gift items, home decor, our Amy Sloan chalk paint, which is the backbone of the business. We sell for at any given month between 30 and 50 local artisans. Okay. We sell a ton of furniture. We've got boutique clothing. So we kind of run the gamut. So when we say creative home market, everything is that umbrella that kind of pulls all that together.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. So creative, and you do, I love the classes that you have. So
we do a lot of workshops.
What happens in a workshop?
So the backbone of our workshops are furniture painting, chalk painting, right? Okay. So you can come in and learn how to paint your own furniture. So if we take it back a step when it comes to the paint, we can paint it for you, or we can teach you how, or once you learn, we can just sell you the product,
You
right?
can do it for me?
Yes.
Can I tell all my friends that I did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you can. We don't need credit.
Well, that seems to be big. Like nowadays, I mean, the economy is doing what it does, and people are like, you know, maybe I can get a neat piece. Yeah. And I can do it myself.
Or maybe you have a piece that fits your space perfectly and it's good quality furniture. Maybe it's either good quality or it's important, it's a family item. Excellent. A lot of people sometimes will say like, oh, don't paint furniture. Yeah. And I disagree. Okay. If you like the way that it looks and it fits in your home, yeah, don't paint it.
That's awesome.
But if you need to give it a whole new life and keep it in your home, paint it all day long. Paint it.
And in real estate, we're always staging things too. Exactly. So like it'd be fun to tell a seller, you know what you could do with this piece.
Yeah.
You know
or kitchen cabinets. This chalk paint is used heavily for kitchen cabinets.
That's huge. That's huge. That's cool. Well, what motivates you? Like, how did you get into, like, One Amazing Find is a very put together operation here. Yeah. Like, you come in here, it's instantly like this sense of like peace. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, you've done a very good job at that. What motivated you to get to where you are?
So I have a background in healthcare technology.
Healthcare technology to painting cabinets. Okay.
Yeah, and my cabinets aren't painted. So I got I had a 20-year run-ish in healthcare. So mostly pharmacy data, pharmacy systems. One of the positions that I had many moons back was I was a business process engineer, and I loved that the most.
Business process engineer.
So
what
just
does that do?
Efficiencies. So looking at roles that people do and figuring out how to make them work more efficiently. Okay. Right? And what are all the steps they have? So at my core, I like to make things happen and put them together like this.
Okay.
Right. So figure out kind of what's working, what's not working, and how can I make it work and bring it all together. So I had that career.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. See,
looking
and that's
around,
how everything
like, I see how you're tying this together. She's doing
great. Everything comes together. But when I left that career, I wanted to work for myself. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to work for big companies anymore. I didn't want to work in the healthcare industry with the insurance companies and all of that. I just didn't want to part of it any longer. So I started a very small t-shirt company here in Tarpon Springs called Wild Liberty. And I launched at First Friday, actually, in February of 2017.
So cool.
Yes, so when you see your vendors out there on First Friday, just know how hard they're working.
Yes.
You know?
First Friday, Tarpon Springs, every time. Beautiful.
So I ran that t-shirt company for about 3 years, and then the opportunity. So One Amazing Find has been here since 2015. Leslie was the previous owner, Leslie and Greg. Okay. So we had a mutual friend that had told me Thanksgiving of 2019, right before COVID, that there's a shop on Tarpon Ave. It's my favorite shop. They've got a buyer. Didn't work out. Kind of went through the story, and I was like, that's unfortunate. And then it kind of came up again, and my husband heard it, and he said, you should dig on that. And I was like, my t-shirt company was coming into year 3. BuzzFeed had picked us up, like things were finally, and it wasn't real money. It wasn't real money compared to, but it was, I was figuring it out, right? I was creating my website, a trademark, I went through everything again to do all those pieces and bring them all together and see if I could figure it out. Okay. So the opportunity to buy One Amazing Find came up, and we looked at the numbers, and the chalk paint made sense. Yeah. Dang, there's a lot of people in Tarpon buying chalk paint.
Chalk paint kind of like found itself,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
So like when you were here, it didn't really look like all of this when you first took it over.
No, it didn't. Leslie, the shop was gorgeous. It was it's always this funny thing, right? Because people are like, gosh, you really changed it. I did, but I loved it like it was, which is why I bought it.
Yeah.
So let's be clear. Like I probably couldn't have made it like this coming in fresh.
Yeah.
I was able to take what Leslie had built for a handful of years and go, what do I like? What do I not like to make it mine?
Okay.
And then how do I kind of change it? So when we bought it, it was December 1st, officially December 1st of 2019. So I would have liked to have had more time open before we made changes, but that wasn't the way the universe worked. And we were forced to close, right? Like everyone else.
COVID
we went home
came
for 2 weeks.
Yep, exactly. Right after you bought it.
Right after we bought it. So, and having that background in business efficiencies and data analytics, you think you kind of plan, but you don't plan for things that you don't know, right? So
pandemics are not part of the plan usually.
Nope, not a part. So we ended up staying closed for 13 weeks. We could have opened up sooner, but once we closed and realized we weren't going to open right back up, we decided to take that time and make the shop ours. And you'll understand this. It was kind of like we bought someone else's house fully furnished, and we moved in, and we didn't even change the sheets, and we were like, let's just roll with it, right? Because the business is open. You just bought it, and we threw everything we could to buy it. So why are we going to close the doors on an existing business and be like, no, we're going to make it ours? No, I needed to make money, right?
Yeah, and
so
customization is everything, of course, and like you make it your own.
Yeah.
And you had 13 weeks there
to do it.
That's where you planned. Okay, if we're going to be closed.
Yeah.
Let's
make the
moves,
best of it.
And that's awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
And there was one woman working here at that time, Terry, who had worked for Leslie, and she was in here with me. It was like May of 2020, every single day with our contractor, John, and we just touched every single thing in the shop. Touch, clean, changed everything.
Huge.
It was.
I mean,
but I'm so glad we did it.
Yeah, when you're in property management, like I did that for a long time, you physically put your hand on the wall.
Yeah.
And when you're doing a check, it's almost like I see you guys having put your hand on absolutely everything.
Yeah.
See it. The chalk paint.
Yeah.
So that's your number one.
That's the
wow factor.
Yeah, that's the backbone of our shop.
Okay.
That brand specifically, Annie Sloan, she does a really good job curating stockists throughout the country. So you can't buy it on Amazon. You can buy it online, but you can't buy it on Amazon. There's not a shop in every town right now that you can go in and get it. She really likes for the brand to have education and workshops and things to kind of touch and feel, so that it's not just your basic run of the mill.
Yeah, buy this.
Exactly.
Trust me.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
She's been on the market for 30 years. She's the original chalk paint. There's a reason why it's been on the market for 30 years. Lots of other paints have crept up, and there's a paint for every project. But if it's something that's going to live in my home, or it's something that I'm going to paint and sell to someone else, I'm going to use Annie Sloan all day.
That's
it's
awesome.
It's a premium paint.
And I mean, that's what it means to own this kind of boutique, is you educate your consumer.
Yep.
And here's what we're learning about, right? I cannot wait for the workshop. I always come in here and I was always like, oh, I'll get my wife a workshop. And then I was like, I'm so sorry, Casey. I meant we are going to go, because I kind of want to learn about it too, right?
Absolutely.
I'm allowed. I figured that out. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what are your goals? Like in the next year, what do you see? Where do you see it? One Amazing Find. What are you doing this next year to really, I don't know, to grow
online
your
sales.
business? Online sales.
So when we bought the shop, we had online presence, but you couldn't shop online, but you could see what we had, right? So that was helpful too. And it was primarily a consignment antique shop.
Right.
But Leslie had said to me, retail, because before COVID, Tarpon as a whole was mostly a tourist town, right?
Yeah.
And she had said to me, not everybody can fit a piece of furniture in their suitcase. Right? Because she was selling a lot of furniture, but when you have those tourists, like, you've got to have something. So she had these little, and we still carry them, these like high cotton coasters that are just really funny.
Yeah.
But we've layered in a lot more retail. So what COVID did allow us to do was kind of sit back and listen. People didn't want to buy secondhand items. We were leaving our groceries on our porch, right?
Right.
They didn't want to come in and buy someone else's lamp that had come from their home, right?
Good point. Yeah.
So we kind of listened to what people wanted. We still have a consignment type model for our local artisans. That we sell for, but we don't take standard consignment, and we've layered in a lot more retail. So with that, we moved last summer from the old system to Shopify, and Shopify gets our point of sale and our online store all married together to where you can shop online.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
Something for everybody viewing this to know too.
Yes, you can shop online.
Shopify is not paying for this.
No.
Yet.
Exactly.
Yet. But that's cool to know that's a business.
That's my biggest, that's my number one. I would love to get to the point, it probably won't be in the next 12 months, but maybe 24 to 36. I want the same amount of sales that go out my front door to go out my back door being shipped.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah, and that's totally doable too. I mean,
Yeah.
you have the foundation for that right here. And the blanket thing, is that
The
around?
chunky knit throw.
The chunky knit throw?
Yeah.
Can I go grab that real
Yes, you
quick? I'll
sure
be right
can.
back.
So and so while you're doing that,
Yes.
what I should mention about the workshops. So while the chalk paint is the backbone, we learned also during the pandemic that,
So friggin' soft.
I know, that people wanted other ways to get out and be creative, right? Because that's good for our mental health, right?
Right.
So we've layered in quite a few creative workshops, like India, who works here at the shop with us. That's her chunky knit blanket workshop.
Okay, so she does a workshop.
So she does a workshop. Yep, she does a workshop.
Paint.
Nope, it's not only paint. So you can come in, you can learn how to make these types of blankets. We do things with wine corks, wreaths, birdhouses.
Oh, cool.
We've got a woman, Margot, with Inky Fingers Calligraphy that comes in and teaches calligraphy workshops. So all
and this
different
is on
ways
your
to be
website,
creative. Absolutely.
which is?
oneamazingfind.com.
That's exactly what I would have guessed.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good
We
one.
keep it simple around
I like
here.
that. I like that. Yeah. So so there's a ton of wow factors. I guess that's when I'm listing a house. I always tell the seller, like, give me 3 wow factors. Like, what can you say? Wow, like if you can stroll to the beach, or if you can, whatever
Sure.
it is.
So why come here? What are my 3?
So like your 3
Yeah.
wow factors. Obviously the workshops is
The
going to be
workshops.
one, right?
Yep, the workshops.
Okay.
Definitely the workshops. The fact that you can come here and find locally made artisan items.
That's huge.
That's huge because sorry,
I'm
go
getting a
ahead.
gift for closing. I'm sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt,
No,
but
you're
like
good.
when I get my closing gifts, this is the place to find something so unique and local. If somebody's moving
Yeah.
to Tarpon, welcome to Tarpon.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yep.
from a local artist,
Yep.
or this is from a local store. So yeah, that's huge. That number 2 wow factor.
And I have a lot of retail items, and this was one part of the process that I didn't, when we bought the business, I didn't know that I would enjoy as much. So I cut checks on the 15th of the month from the previous month's sales. And any given month that ranges 30 to 50 people. So I love relationships. I love people. That's
Yeah.
kind of, so I
Picked up
love
on
to
that.
talk. Yeah. So I've been able to develop those relationships with folks in town that have a great craft. I think of Luann as a woman in town that makes all of our cutting boards and our spoons, right? And
Yes.
she's wonderful to work with. And she comes in and she's excited and she has new things to show us, and we sell quite a bit for her,
Yeah.
right? So I like that. So I think that is definitely a wow factor for us.
And good business begets good business, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
we all kind of work together. I mean, I've worked with other realtors that we share. Hey, if you're getting a closing gift,
Yeah.
Nobody's trying to hold information, and nobody's trying. I
Yeah.
see a lot of collaboration, even when I just walk in here.
Yeah.
Whether it's between you and your staff or you and your customers, I see a lot of that back and forth in customer.
We love to talk.
Yeah, customer experience.
Well,
It's
that's
really
my
an
number
experience.
3. That is my number 3 is definitely the team that's here and the environment that we create. So
Yeah.
during the pandemic, we had a lot of women, some men. It's usually like when a man comes in, we're all staring at him like, "Did you need help today?" And a lot of them are like, "Can't I just browse?" No, you're here for a gift, and let us help you.
I'm a dude. Yeah, exactly. We know why you're here,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, but a lot of women would come in like on lunch breaks, right? And they didn't necessarily spend money every time, which is come
Yeah.
browse, come enjoy our space with us, right?
Yeah.
So they would come and spend their lunch break, just kind of. It's a big shop, right? We've
Yeah.
got 4,000 square feet. There's a lot of little nooks and areas.
There's
the
a
team,
ton.
yeah, the team works really hard week over week to create new spaces, and we're fortunate that a lot does go out the front door, so that allows us to keep things fresh, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think having that environment that people want to come and be in, and the shopping is just secondary.
It just
I know it
happens
sounds,
to
but
be there.
I hear so much, especially like with our workshops and with folks that come in, they love to be in here,
Yeah.
and that makes me feel good.
I think you're kind of in the business of people. You just happen to sell a lot of cool stuff too.
We do sell, yes, we
You
do
know?
sell a lot of cool stuff, and we
Yeah.
do love, yes.
That's
people.
it. That's
Yep.
the way that I would
Yep.
describe it coming in here. Well, is there anything you want to add?
No.
Am I missing anything?
No, thank you.
I'm just
Don.
kind of here. I'm listening to Casey. This is good. Well, one amazing find, everybody, right there on Tarpon Avenue, downtown Tarpon. You must come in here. Casey also said that if you wanted a 10% discount,
Yes,
you mentioned
definitely.
this video, or just say, hey, Scott's video, Scott Spots, you get a 10% discount on your item here. And I just want to thank you. This is such a cool
Thank you.
space. Thanks for making time for us.
Thank you for the
All
opportunity.
right. High five.